Theresa May survives no confidence vote.
Here's a summary of the article.
I have no doubt that she has tried her best and given it her all. Hers alone. Throughout history, prime ministers have tried the best and failed. This prime minister has chosen one last act of defiance, not just defying the laws of politics, but defying the laws of mathematics. It was a Disraeli who said, "A majority is always better than the best repartee." She is a prime minister without a majority for her flagship policy, with no authority and no plan B. Mr. Speaker, that's not a mere flesh wound. No one doubts her determination, which is generally an admirable quality, but misapplied it can be toxic. In fact, the country feels genuinely sorry for the prime minister.
This post received a score of 29,143, with an upvote ratio of 90%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Season 3 of Brexit has been pretty good so far, although the storyline with May hanging on is a little predictable at this point.
Does Theresa May have plot armor?
First time I've heard that term applied to reality, and it's unsettling how easy I just accepted it. Maybe we are in a simulation.
I'm very much looking to the next wave of fiction made by people whose formative years were spent in a reality that's way beyond any boundaries of what traditional media fiction could or should be.
Might I suggest How to Live Safely in a Science-Fictional Universe by Charles Yu.
Teenage Vampire Butt Sluts, Revenge of the Chocolate Starfish had a similar plotline as well.
Warms the heart to hear such a classic referred to in our modern times.
Theresa May narrowly survives confidence vote after pretty much everyone made it clear yesterday they aren't a fan of her. This tells me that nobody actually wants this thankless job lol. Still wonder if she decides to resign and hand off to another Tory.
It's mainly because the Tory party know that Labour might win if there's an election, so OBV they ain't going to vote against May if it means they could lose their seats.
This entirely self-preservational.
It's not just self-preservation, it's also that if Labour wins the general election there is almost no chance of a no-deal Brexit, which is what the Tories who aren't loyal to May are seeking.
Why would you want a no-deal Brexit? Probably because it would benefit a very small number of people. Some of those people may be Tory MPs or prominent donors of said Tory MPs. Or assholes, though these things aren't mutually exclusive.
The ones who stand to gain the most from the privatization of public programs if everything goes tits up? That sounds familiar.
So what's next? Ask the EU for a better deal, they say no, ask for an extension, whether they say yes or no it will still probably end in no deal. To see what happens after that, watch the beginning of 28 Days Later.
I've seen this point multiple times, but the EU doesn't have to do anything. They didn't ask for Britain to leave the EU. They're not the ones holding a knife to Britain's throat, Britain is holding the knife to its own throat. The EU has even offered to take the knife away and put it in metal shredder by saying they can unilaterally withdraw Article 50 at any time before the 29th of March. Hell, they can still change the passports blue if they want while remaining in the EU. Croatia's passport is dark blue and they weren't wrapped over the knuckles by the EU for it.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.